Hey, this is Notser, and we are in the Tier 6 Premium British Battleship, Warspite. She has 8 381mm guns, 16 secondary guns, 51 AA guns, a surface detect of 13.8 kilometers, top speed 24.7 knots, total health 53,800. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase secondary gun accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift. For my commander, basic survivability, faster turret traverse, superintendent, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Two Brothers, and you're not getting just one replay, you're getting 2 replays of the Warspite on Two Brothers. They're very short, and this one in particular is not impressive XP-wise or single carry-wise. I just felt like it was a good example of a strategy that you try and execute. Now, at the start, the enemy aircraft carrier sent his fighters and bombers towards me, so what I decided to do is set, of course, the closest torpedo as my primary, and I maneuvered according to the follow-up torpedo strike. That way, I had the best chance to knock out the torpedo squadron that would have been undefended. I would not have good angling against that first group. However, the AA would have taken 1, 2, 3, and ultimately all of them died before they even got a chance to drop. I was perfectly set up to deal with the second attack, and I took absolutely no damage from that attack. You might have caught what I was messaging my division mate. Basically, there's going to be 2 fronts, west and east. And it's not based on your strength, it's based on the enemy's strength and how they react to your team. So far, it appears that the enemy team is going to push the eastern flank. Now, we have 5 pushing the west. We should easily outnumber and destroy any enemies that try and stand in our way. And we're going to push because of that. That allows us to really create havoc on the enemy team, force them to have to deal with 2 fronts. As long as our team is able to just slow down the enemy team, we should have a huge advantage. One other thing I like about this flank, we've got a great setup for attack. We've got 2 destroyers in front. I have a cruiser on my left, a cruiser on my right, and I'm in the center. I'm trying to stay basically middle to the front side of the attack. However, the Warspite is not the fastest ship in the fleet. I am using the speed boost flag so I can get a little bit extra out of her, but it's still a very sluggish ship. So we see the enemy aircraft carrier has yet to move. That is usually a telltale sign that it is a bot program. However, I'm not going to assume anything. Just realize that the player was not smart in their deployment. You do not want to stay stationary ever in your aircraft carrier. And for that, he's going to take a lot of damage from my team. Now, we did catch sight of an enemy aircraft carrier, and I have a scout aircraft. That's the only thing I can have on the ship. I choose to use it, and I'm going to try and work on the Zuiho. It extends the range, of course, and allows you to look over islands. It's great for situations exactly like this. You're just barely outside of the range. We do very little damage, very little damage. We need to do a better job if we intend to take him out. And for whatever reason, the Zuiho has decided to head out west to retreat rather than head out east. It's very clear that the west has lost containment for his team, and this is the worst direction he could go. It works in favor for me. I lead the target. I have AP loaded. We're looking for a citadel. It's a low ship. We just need to hit at the waterline. And he's turning north. He's trying. We get one little clip, and we get a citadel. 10,000 points of damage. We take out the enemy aircraft carrier, and that is a huge mistake. You can never move towards the enemy flank that's pushing. You cannot afford to stay stationary that long at the start of the match. He basically threw the game for his team. The stats would suggest that the team with an aircraft carrier near the beginning of the match tend to win 80% of the time. It's really bad. That's why Wargaming gave the defensive fire, or will be giving the defensive fire skill, to the tiers 8 and above. They felt like, man, this is really bad. When we see the aircraft carrier, oh man, let's just bask in that glory of taking out that Cleveland. He had good angling. I held my fire, hoping that he would show a much softer broadside, and he eventually did. He was trying to escape. It was too late for you, Cleveland. You needed to play as annoying as possible, but you were not getting out, my friend. No. And the friendlies do a perfect job of taking out the destroyer. Our secondaries did a little bit of damage. So far, every single call-out has worked perfectly for our team. We've taken out the aircraft carrier, we've taken out the Cleveland, and the cruisers/destroyers took out the destroyer on the enemy team. There is, of course, one token New Mexico headed up the middle for whatever reason. That's not going to work out in your favor. The northeast side of the map are still within range of the base to defend it. But the west, clear advantage. We are pushing into their base. We want to force the enemies back, and we want to eliminate them as they straggle in one by one. There are a couple enemy Warspite on the enemy team, and they are in a situation where it's going to take them a while to return. The cruisers, however, appear to be trying to defend their base, and good luck, my friend. I tell my teammate, hey, allow me to move forward so I can be the target of opportunity for the enemy team. It's much better for them to work on my ship than the cruisers, and that's really what you want. You want your battleship in close support, able to take the primary threat of the enemy team while those cruisers just pour fire after fire after fire onto them without risking their ship. They don't have to worry about angling at all. They need to get all guns into it. My friendly is taking damage, but I am hurrying as fast as I can. I can't move that fast. So now that we are actually up front, we're engaging the Furutaka. I'm looking for that waterline shot. They're still interested in the cruiser because he is weaker at this point. They're going to try and wear him down. But he's pretty healthy, right? I'm also trying to get in the way. However much that actually helps, it doesn't help at all, just to make them have to deselect or change targets. I also want those battleships that appear to be headed back to primarily attack me first. And the Furutaka is set up, my secondaries are in range. The friendly cruiser in the south is able to take out the enemy Furutaka. Now on to Nuremberg. And Nuremberg is perfectly broadside, or very nearly. We are attempting a waterline shot, and we get one. We get one shell to go in at the waterline and citadel him for 10,000 points of damage. He is firing on my ship. He's taken the bait. One thing that you should remember, pretty much every cruiser has torpedoes except for the American cruisers. So you want to be careful. You want to have an idea of their range, and someone tried to send torpedoes. We are so slow, and I didn't really need to go any far forward. I was the most far forward ship that could be targeted. The Nuremberg dies to the friendly cruiser, and it's just the Warspite. They have 3 points left. They've done nothing. They've gotten one kill, and we have dominated this match. And there it is. That's how fast the match went. I was so impressed with the game and the teammates on the Western Flank. I had to share it because this is textbook how you're supposed to play as a team. I felt like the destroyers did a great job screening for the team. I had backup from cruisers who protected me from aircraft, and I was there to provide the health pool. And that's exactly how you want to attack with the 3 classes. Here's another game in the Warspite on Two Brothers. The only difference is that it's domination, and I prefer domination over standard, quite honestly. I think it's a little bit more active environment to play. And we see an enemy Fuso. The enemy Fuso is, of course, the tier 6 Japanese battleship. It's a great battleship. I love it, but he's showing a ton of his side. Now, we're not able to take advantage of that. I basically miss every shot. I let him a little bit too much. He is also a slow battleship, but hey, we have an enemy Furutaka who appears to be showing a perfect broadside, and I would love to just destroy his ship with a bunch of citadels. Now, that's exactly what we try to do. Maybe I've aimed a little bit too high. He was slightly coming forward. We miss. We land 2 shells. However, they do absolutely nothing. I don't care about those shells. But he doesn't seem to be taking any precaution. You know, a battleship, he just fired a lot of shells on my target, but he didn't citadel me. Maybe that means I don't need to re-angle my ship. And he attempts to start re-angling. He takes 1 citadel from, two citadels from a battleship, I believe. We try to follow him and make sure that he dies before he escapes, and we land nothing. Really? All of the shells that did make contact just ricocheted off of his hull. That lucky Japanese cruiser. We've just got to wait on a reload. The Omaha, the friendly cruisers around me, the destroyers, everyone's trying to take him down, and I want them to take him down. I don't want to have to waste a cooldown. It looks good. There are enemy torpedoes incoming. The Omaha's definitely going to take one. Take one for the team. Oh no, it looks like I'm going to take one. I'm trying to slow down, also turn. Nope, nope, doesn't have the range. Silly me, this is low tier. What am I saying? Friendlies take out that enemy Farragut. So now we have nobody stopping us from taking A and stopping us from winning this game. Except this Fuso, who's showing a ton of his broadside. Come on, Citadel him. Okay, we did around 9,000 points of damage. I will take that gladly. Interesting. We've got the Omaha and the Carl's in the lead, so he's the mastermind of this operation. I don't know if I would follow a Carl into battle. The Carl is definitely not a leader. The Carl is a follower. Let's be honest, okay? There are much better cruisers that lead. Now this Omaha, he's showing a really large amount of side, and he's actually softening it even further. And the shells, they look to be good. Oh yeah, that was good. 100-0, or nearly 100-0 on the Omaha. And yes, let's not follow Carl into battle. He just gets us killed. He took a huge shot from a battleship, probably. Now we're reloading, of course, to work on the Carl. He's got not ideal angling, and it gets even worse. But eventually, he's showing his stern to us. So we could, theoretically, plunge down with the AP and penetrate him. However, that's just not going to happen, right? How many times have you hit these shots? I miss them all the time, but he's changing his angle, and oh wow, only one shell. That's why you don't follow Carl. We were able to Citadel him for 10,000 points of damage. We saved the Independence, and that's what I was looking for. And I'm like, hey, take care, my friend. And I do mean literally take care, because there's only one ship on the eastern flank that could protect him. This is bad. We have way more ships on the western flank that have successfully pushed and are continuing to push. I'm going to try and help finish off the Fuso. He's softening his angle, of course, and this is perfect for a battleship. We're trying to predict that he will be at the waterline when the shells make contact. And we do not do that much damage. We overshot a little bit. Friendlies, however, do finish him off, and we now have a free reign over the sea point. And I'm just going to go back. The aircraft carrier is on an island. Well, he's not on an island. He's right next to an island. Boy, sorry, I apologize, yeah. Either way, he's isolated and he needs backup. So we're going to give it to him. I'm headed back. Right now, I predict that there are going to be enemies trying to push the flank. We only see 2 enemy ships. Where are the other 4? Now, obviously, I can't do this quickly. The Warspite is anything but fast. She's faster than those US battleships, Notser. I guess that is true. Yes, she does move faster than US battleships. However, it's only 2 knots, and at this speed, I feel basically like a defensive structure. So I need things to come to me. Speaking of coming to Notser and the Warspite, it's an enemy Cleveland. He apparently is trying to go after my friendly Cleveland, Godzilla. That's a good name, good strong name. It reminds me of dinosaurs and lizard and fire breath, so I want to keep him alive. I think he's very powerful. That's just my impression, of course. And the Cleveland is showing a near perfect broadside. It could be a little bit better, admittedly. I use my scout to just give me a little bit extra range to see over the island and also to reach out and lead the target as he is moving away slightly. We missed with the first shot, but I will elevate my guns and try again. We're using the back guns at this point. The front guns are still reloading. And this looks much better, Notser. Oh yes. At the waterline, 12,000 points of damage. We actually get to watch the shell go in right as the water creeps up on the hull. That's exactly where you want it to go. Obviously, the dispersion's not going to allow it, and the dispersion didn't allow that one. We only got one shell for 1,000 points of damage. Come on, come on. We adjust our elevation a little bit. It appears that he's angling away from us. He doesn't want to take another shot like that, which sets him up to take damage from my friendly Cleveland. And they're almost at identical health pools at this point. This has worked out perfectly. Godzilla. He's Godzilla. Godzilla has avoided a lot of damage, and we've been able to level the playing field a little bit. And I try again. We do get one shell, but it only does 1,000, and it hit basically the smokestack. Come on! Give me a citadel. It's still not a fair fight for my team. We want to win everything. Absolutely every engagement. My team's doing great. This is the most important thing to me right now. And, oh, nice. 3,400 points of damage, or 3,700 points of damage. We actually destroyed outright one of his guns. That will definitely help my teammate survive a little bit longer. And I believe we are actually ahead now in health pool. I'm going to tell him, hey, come to me. If you come to me, I can assist better. I don't have the range. My scout plane's gone. And honestly, I probably should have said this at the beginning. Hey, Cleveland, just work your way towards me. Keep good angling, and I will assist. It wasn't communicated, and that's my fault. Oh, what the? And I'm not even paying attention. Notser, there's an enemy destroyer. Never mind. The secondaries do their job very well. And I'm sure that destroyer's like, come on. Unfortunately, we can't really enjoy it that much because of the Fuso firing. Wow. That dispersion did not work out in his favor. Ours doesn't do much better. And the enemy destroyer sent out some torpedoes, but they don't hit us. We were moving slow enough. Didn't have to worry about it at all. And this Fuso really is the most important thing. We are showing a full broadside to him. He does have an advantage. You don't want to show a perfect broadside. The target that is broadside should always lose the scenario. No matter how many guns you have on target, you are risking a lot. And thankfully, the enemy Fuso misses completely. We do pretty good damage. However, the game is over. And I felt pretty good about this game. I was a protector of sorts for my team. We earned 3 kills, a close quarter kill, devastating strike, and we basically protected the aircraft carrier from certain annihilation. We did 1,495 base XP. The whole team did a great job though. We only did around 65,000 points of damage. Pretty short game. However, it was a noble game where we kept our teammates alive. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.